This evening, Guyanese prepare to celebrate Emancipation Day, and AGDA has events planned. Here to share questions policies of government which seemingly deny CARICOM nationals entry. President Granger defends appointment of retired military officers to civilian posts. Matters related to the environment will soon have their own department. In the region, in St. Vincent, Paul Scrubb's lawyer accuses the Prime Minister, Mr. Ralph Gonsalves, of witch hunting. And internationally, Hillary Clinton calls for national unity in her rousing speech on the final night of the convention.
From Safetv headquarters in South Raval Gardens, this is Safetv Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvguyana.com. Join us. Monday is Emancipation Day, and African Guyanese across the country will be observing this very important event of their ancestral history. Yesterday, African Cultural and Development Association AGDA hosted its Emancipation Bazaar on Main Street, which is the lead up to the Emancipation celebrations. Andrew Weeks was at the scene and filed this report.
Main Street yesterday was in a hype of activities as passers-by visited the different booths that are showcasing and selling different African wear. AGDA representative Clementine Marshall spoke with Headline News about what the African Bazaar is all about.
So we have started a couple of years ago to call it this Emancipation Bazaar, where persons will be able to come out and bring out what they have, and we are focusing more on young designers, local designers that do tie-dyeing, you have accessories, everything, so persons will have a chance to see what they want to wear for Emancipation.
According to Marshall, it's just a sneak peek of what persons of African descent will see when they go to the national park.
I noticed that persons, when they come through, over the years coming through this Main Street, you could see them lightening up. Yes, I have to get an African wear. I have to get this. I am noticing this year our male folks, the male brothers, that they're jostling the sisters in getting their outfit. Some come with their husband and the sisters come with their husband, and they say, okay, we have to dress alike this year.
Headline News spoke with one of the sellers about her expectations of the Emancipation Bazaar every year.
It's going okay. People are coming and looking to see what they're going to.
When Emancipation come around, how does that make you feel as an African woman?
I feel good as an African woman. It's just that some more, information and some more edifying needs to be happening towards the
African culture.
And the African culture.
According to the vendor, many persons of African descent are not interested in their culture, and she feels more needs to be done in the media to highlight the African cultural heritage.
Because nobody's going to teach you about your culture. You got to do your researches. We also need to have the aiding of, like we got AGDA, even in the Ministry of Culture now, could assist in some way and some form to bring over more of these things. Okay, we got TV channels also could also assist us to bring in more. I know Channel 9 does try the best, but still the other channels.
Today on Main Street was designated a cuisine day where all the African cultural dishes were on display. Saturday is the last day for the AGDA-sponsored Emancipation Bazaar. So if you haven't got your outfit as yet, get to Main Street tomorrow and buy yours. I got mine already for Emancipation Day on Monday. Look out for Headline News crew as we provide coverage for this great important event. Rihanna, back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. All matters pertaining to the environment will soon be addressed by its own department, according to Minister of State Joseph Harmon. This announcement was made at this week's post-cabinet media briefing. Kingsley Bryan has the details in this report.
The mandate of the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment will soon change, since the administration is seeking to establish a separate entity to deal with the matters of the environment. This is to heighten focus on the incoming oil and gas sectors and to ensure the environment sector receive due attention.
Cabinet was alerted to the significant responsibilities which lie on the shoulders of the Minister of Natural Resources in the area of oil and gas, and the President was clearly of the view that this was an area that required undivided attention of the Minister. And in that regard, the President has signaled his intention of ensuring that all of the issues in relation to the environment be placed under one entity under the Ministry of the Presidency.
Minister Harman went on to explain that certain agencies are under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, and the burden should not be borne by that ministry. There was also a vision to separate the extractive industries from the environment sector.
We would like to separate the extractive sector from the environment sector, because one has to oversee the other. So what we're trying to do is to bring these now into conformity with that reality. In addition to which I indicated to you earlier that it is the view of the President that the minister responsible for natural resources, in addition to gold and diamond, the GGMC, the Forestry Commission and so on, that he wants some more specific attention paid to the oil and gas sector.
Meanwhile, Opposition Chief Whip Gail Teixeira found the decision coincidental.
May I be mischievous enough to say, too, that I find it, again, coincidental. It may mean nothing that within 24 hours of hearing that Jagdeo is now the Special Ambassador on Forest and Environment for the FAO, this is a global position, that they suddenly decide they better move environment out of Trotman quickly and put it back with the President. So that, who knows, maybe I'm right. I just find it highly coincidental. It's too coincidental, you know.
Minister Harman noted that no one has been specifically named to manage the Environment Department, since that falls to the President. But the environment and the oil and the extractive sectors are expected to receive due attention under this new arrangement. Rihanna?
Thanks, Kingsley. President David Granger said he sees nothing wrong with the appointment of retired or serving military officers to civilian posts, and contends that the appointments are being made based on competence. Andrew Weeks has our story.
Well, you can ask President Jagdeo and President Ramatar why they appointed Major General Singh to his present position, why they appointed Colonel Chabilal Ramsroop to CDC, why they appointed Colonel Brassington Reynolds as a judge, why they appointed Colonel Prasad as the Accountant General, and you can go through a whole list of people. When I became president in May 2015, there had about 10 officers that the PPP administration had appointed.
President David Granger made that statement during his recent public interest show at the Ministry of the Presidency. President Granger had appointed retired Brigadier Bruce Lovell to conduct a commission of inquiry into corruption allegations made against the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, KANU. Retired Colonel Windy Algernon was assigned to conduct a commission of inquiry into a recent deadly fire at the Children's Drop-In Center, and Sergeant Colonel Nazul Hussain has been appointed to head the Department of National Events of the Ministry of the Presidency. The opposition People's Progressive Party Civic PPC has been chided these appointments, among others, as a sign of the growing militarization of the state and government apparatus. But President Granger said these criticisms are unnecessary.
These are human beings. These are people with skills. You know, they're not a separate breed of citizens. We can't deprive them of their rights if they have the talent, the experience, the qualifications. Why not? I don't discriminate against them. And obviously, Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Ramatar didn't discriminate against them, because I inherited a large number of former military officers who had been appointed by the PPP administration. I don't see that anything could be wrong in asking a colonel here or a brigadier here to do a commission of inquiry. The question is, are they competent to do it?
Mr. Granger then rebuked the former PPC administration for their criticism of his appointment decision.
You know, there's the old saying that it doesn't matter if it's a black cat or a white cat. If it catches rats, it's a good cat.
So
we want good cats.
Most of the appointments are mainly on experience and competence.
That is right, and this, I don't think is different. Everybody recognizes that some of the appointments made by the previous administration, nobody criticized them. Why should they criticize me? I would certainly make some criticism myself, because there's a particular person who they appointed as a minister who was cashiered from the GDF, discharged with ignominy, and they put him in the cabinet. So when the people in the PPP point fingers, let them explain why such a person was given such a high position in their administration.
In a statement last week, the PPC said that the Granger administration has a proclivity for placing retired and serving military officers in government agencies and departments and to head commission of inquiry into one incident after another. But President Granger believes that competency, honesty, and qualifications are what will get his vote of confidence to get the job done. Back to you, Rihanna.
Thanks, Andrew. Coming up on Headline News after the break, the driver who struck the children earlier this week on Wolford Avenue has been jailed. And City Hall adds a tow truck to its fleet.
Everybody knows John Lewis Styles as the Levi's and Dockers store. But did you know we're also an authorized dealer for Nautica, Perry Ellis, US Polo, Natural Issue, Joffrey Bean, and many others. We also carry the Bruno and Drill brands, who are actually the makers of Express shirts, at half the price of Express. So the next time you think of men's clothing, shoes, and accessories, there's only one choice. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. I am yours. I am yours. I know who I am. Oh, I know who I am. I know who I am. I am yours. I am yours. And you are mine. Jesus, you are mine. You are mine.
With a distinctive flavor, Umda Palka ghee is made from 100% pure vegetable oil. This Palka ghee is a delight when preparing sweetmeats and other dishes for healthy cooking with a rich buttery taste and aroma. It is used for religious purposes and is a principal fuel for burning. Umda Palka ghee is light, pure, with a real ghee texture.
Greetings, Guyana. This is Lieutenant Messenger, inviting one and all to the Golden Jubilee Emancipation Festival to be held on the 1st of August 2016 at the National Park in Georgetown. Come and see the Messenger live and kicking. God's willing. See you there.
Showtime, 6 p.m. Tickets $1,000. VIP $4,000. Tickets available at Nigel Supermarket and Makita on Albert Street. Compliments of Acta and Banks Beer. Have fun in Banks Country.
It's the sizzling summer sale going down on the 29th of July at Clearance, where prices are hot, hot, hot. Get up to 50% off items store-wide. I'm talking gents, sneakers, jeans, shirts, jerseys, caps, and everything you need for that sizzling summer look. And for the ladies, we have tops, jeans, short pants, flip-flops, dresses, sunshades, and everything that you ladies would need to give you that sexy summer look. Remember, the sizzling summer sale goes down for one day only on the 29th of July, right here at Clearance, always keeping you in style.
Only at Kissoon's can you get the guaranteed offer of up to 50% discount on every item in their blowout factory surplus sale. 50% off for Guyana's 50th anniversary right through the year. Check it out at their spacious factory outlet at Reinfeldt Industrial Park, where parking is no problem. They're in the mood to celebrate at Kissoon's. Once you want it, Kissoon's will make sure you don't leave without it.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Opposition Member of Parliament Charles Ramsden Jr. is likely to tender his resignation from the National Assembly as he prepares to take up the Chevening Scholarship that has been offered to him by the British government. Appearing before media operatives on Wednesday, senior party officials Gail Teixeira and Anil Nandlal refused to answer questions pertaining to Ramsden's future as a young parliamentarian.
We will not be dealing with that issue today. At the appropriate time, we shall.
As the questions were being asked about Ramsden's political future, he stood in the very room with media operatives, where he remained silent. It was reported earlier in the week that Ramsden is likely to tender his resignation from the National Assembly to take up the aforementioned scholarship. Headline News was informed that by September, Ramsden is expected to move to the UK full-time. He will be required to stay there until completion of his studies.
Mr. Ramsden has been a good MP. He's serving us, and that when at the appropriate time we will announce, if there's any announcement to be made, on what is going on.
It is unclear whether Ramsden will resign from the party or whether a leave of absence will suffice.
The party makes its decisions accordingly and will accordingly reveal that at the appropriate time.
City Hall adds a new vehicle to its fleet by way of a tow truck. Andrew Weeks reports that the vehicle was part of government's subvention for 2015. The tow truck costs $8 million Ghana dollars.
Yesterday, the keys of a tow truck were handed over to the Chief Constable by the Town Clerk Acting, Sharon Harry. Also present was City Engineer Mr. Venture. Harry explains more on the nature of the tow truck.
We would have indicated to the government that there is need for a tow truck which would be utilized in picking up their vehicles, also vehicles that would have been in breaches of the bylaw, where we would be able to garnish some revenue.
The tow truck will be used mainly to clear up derelict vehicles around the city of Georgetown that have been a haven for criminals and vagrants. Harry explains more.
And even though we would have served notices, persons are still in the habit of leaving the vehicles all over in a very careless way. And because of the fact that we need to maintain a proper safety, we have decided that it's now critical that we have a tow truck to remove those vehicles and have them dispersed. And if it is that those persons really need to have the vehicles, they come and they have it and put it in a very orderly manner.
Government has given City Hall a subvention of $24 million a year for capital works around the city. A total of $8 million of that money was used to purchase the tow truck. As for the legal aspect, Chief Constable Andrew Fu explains.
As you are aware, we are currently in terms of enforcing the bylaws, Section 274, 276, which has to do in terms of traffic, parking and standing and regulating of vehicles and council in terms of roads. It therefore means that in terms of vehicles who may in terms of park wrong, in violation of the law, and do not want to comply with instructions of officers, that we can now in terms of tow away those vehicles. Outside of that, we have an obligation in keeping with the city government by law Section 9, where persons are not supposed to leave place or store any street carpet or pavement.
Mr. Fu also identified some of the areas of concern, especially that of those abandoned vehicles that citizens would normally leave on roadsides for years.
From time to time, areas like Durban Street, maybe Smythe Street, you have persons who tend to park on pavements, and therefore those persons also, we have the options of either in terms of asking them to remove their vehicles, and those who are not in compliance, we can have those vehicles towed away. Outside of that, we have in terms of a number of workshops. Some are illegal, who conduct their operations on the parapets, the streets and the parapets of the city. And again, we're going to be looking in terms of those mechanical workshops, as well as in terms of derelict vehicles.
So, Rihanna, citizens are now put on notice to remove their old vehicles from off the streets and pavements or have them towed away. The date for the commencement of the campaign by the city constabulary and other officials to remove those derelict vehicles has not yet been announced. But rest assured, you have been warned. Rihanna, back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. A meeting of the Parliamentary Special Select Committee on Foreign Affairs saw the questioning of our immigration policies. Chairman of the committee, Ms. Gail Teixeira, questioned the two ministers bearing responsibility for that sector in that regard. Kingsley Bryan provides the details in this report.
The question as to why Guyana has denied so many foreign nationals entry into the country was raised during the meeting. Chairman of the committee questioned the procedures of the new administration since just reasoning was not provided as to why the figures were so high, pointing to 186 Caribbean nationals being denied entry over the past 18 months.
Is there a more reticence, a greater reticence in how we flex with people coming in, and therefore we're putting up more laws? Because there are distinctions between people coming in and overstaying and people doing trafficking in narcotics or people. Completely different issues. And sometimes if you focus on the wrong thing, you end up letting the other guys get away.
Mr. Shearer posed the question after Minister Felix highlighted that insufficient funds were the main reasons for the denial. Adding voice to that specific issue, Foreign Affairs Minister Carl Greenidge noted that Ghana can be flexible, but certain guidelines must be followed.
I think even when you accept that there should be movement across borders in keeping with the principles set out in the CSME, it does not entitle Caribbean nationals to move wheresoever they wish, whatever the circumstances. They have to satisfy minimum requirements such as, for example, that they have the wherewithal with which to keep themselves out of social security and destitution. There may be other factors.
Minister Felix returned to explain his position on the issues of insufficient funding and noted that the government was in no way being rigid, but stricter in its approach. He also noted it was used as a means to addressing the trafficking in persons scenario.
We are not rigid in the enforcement of the immigration laws, but we are very concerned in some cases that we need to address this issue of trafficking in persons. For example, women and young children arriving at your port and they have no support. They can't show you evidence of how they would support themselves for a month.
Minister Felix noted that the very issue of trafficking in persons is under review and saw the ministry double-checking the addresses provided by foreign nationals, since there have been instances where the information provided was false. Rihanna.
Thanks, Kingsley. Perhaps being at the wrong place at the wrong time was what led to the deaths of those 3 family members from Blackbush Polder in Berbice. 15-year-old Jaikaran Chandradio, his father, 37-year-old Suresh Chandradio, and his uncle, 35-year-old Naresh Ruplal, were each shot to the head, moments after witnessing one of the families from the village stealing fuel from another resident. The 3 men were on a fishing trip in the backlands when the farmer, his wife, their teenage son, and an employee committed the theft. The 4, upon being confronted, reportedly panicked and decided to eliminate the witnesses, who were very much known to them. It is believed that it was the 17-year-old boy who pulled the trigger. The 3 family members have been taken into police custody, as the 4th suspect is being sought. A case file is currently being prepared to send to the Director of Public Prosecution. Those in custody are expected to face murder charges sometime next week. Meanwhile, you should also note that the woman responsible for the injuries of 3 St. Lucian Cub Scouts who are here for the 14th Caribbean Cabaret was fined 15,000 Ghana dollars and sentenced to 10 months in prison. Tracy Fordyce of Cowan Street, Kingston, Georgetown, pleaded guilty to dangerous driving and breach of a one-way. After they were knocked down on Wilford Avenue, the children were rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where they were treated. One of the students was said to be in critical condition, but hospital officials told Headline News today that the child was recuperating. Still ahead, our regional and international news.
Women's fashion trends change every day. That's why John Lewis Styles makes it their duty to source items directly from the manufacturing brands, offering you more choices and better prices. Women love to look great, whether it's for work or play. From clothing, shoes, accessories, to handbags, watches, fragrances. Let's make you feel like the only girl in the world. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
With a distinctive flavor, Umda Palka ghee is made from 100% pure vegetable oil. This Palka ghee is a delight when preparing sweetmeats and other dishes for healthy cooking with a rich buttery taste and aroma. It is used for religious purposes and is a principal fuel for burning. Umda Palka ghee is light, pure, with a real ghee texture.
Don't let this moment in history pass you by. Kissoons want every Guyanese home to showcase a new piece of furniture to remember this glorious event of our Jubilee celebration. Kissoons have gone crazy. Every item is on sale right through this year in the Big Broad Factory Surplus Sale, up to 50% off for the 50th birthday at Kissoons.
This is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm
sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, in St. Vincent, Israel Bruce, lawyer for Calypsonian Paul Scrub, who is facing charges of uttering seditious words and threatening to kill Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves and his family, says his client is innocent and has accused the government of engaging in a witch hunt. Eyewitness News has more.
We have a situation where Mr. Scrub is a Vincentian citizen, and he's been residing in the United States of America for quite a while now, in excess of 20 years. And some statements have been alleged to have been made by Mr. Scrub, and on the basis of those statements, the state would have proceeded to arrest him and charge him. What is exciting to note is that Mr. Scrub would have been in St. Vincent for 5 weeks, and on the very day he was about to board the Liat aircraft, he was taken off the aircraft or from the airport terminal, and the charge was he was taken to the central police station. He was interviewed and then charged. You'd find it very strange that there's an application by the Crown this morning that they would need some 3 months to prepare their case against Mr. Scrub. So I wonder, where is the application of the full court test? The full court test says that you must have an evidential sufficiency before you proceed. And even on the presence of an evidential sufficiency, you must ask yourself whether or not it is in the interest of the national interest to proceed with the matter. Clearly, if you have a matter of the type for which Mr. Scrub is charged, there is a national interest. But where is the evidential sufficiency? If you had that, why would you need 3 months as of today's date to investigate then before you can properly lay your case in the court? So that says to me that it is witch hunting. I'm saying again, it is witch hunting, and it is intended to satisfy some of the available positions in the cybercrime bill that is not yet an act. In my respectful submission, here it is that Scrub and whoever else are residing in North America, Canada, USA, Canada as North America, Europe, wherever you are, is to send them a message. Wherever you are, do not say anything, because when you come to St. Vincent, we can use our powers of arrest and arrest you. But this man has a job. You know what that means? By virtue of upholding the request to have him here for 3 more months, his job goes into jeopardy. He loses that job. Nobody cares. And you're doing that now, so you ask for him to stay here for 3 months while you investigate. But you know what is strange about this? The incident is said to have occurred sometime around December 2015. So you had between December and June, and July. So in 7 months, you couldn't have enough evidence to bring the charge. But you want 3 more months now, and in 3 months you'll be able to do it. Now, let the ordinary man who is listening to this and who is hearing this come to one conclusion. The ultimate objective is scaremongering, to scare people like Paul Scrub and the others. But for those who intend to succeed on scaremongering, they must get one message: it will not work. The people in the diaspora will be resolved to speak about issues in St. Vincent. Mind you, the utterances as alleged were not made by this man. Not by this man. But that is a legal hurdle to which I will not address. Thank you.
What kind of work does your client have in the United States?
Well, I don't know particularly what he does. If he cares to say, I don't think he wants to make any statement at this time. So he works legitimately in the United States of America. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
And internationally, Hillary Clinton has formally accepted her party's nomination for president on the fourth day of the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. In her historic acceptance speech, Clinton called for national unity, saying, "We'll fix it together." DW News has our story.
A rousing victory song set the tone on the final night of the Democratic National Convention. Speakers have been making the case for Hillary Clinton in the last few days, and now it was her daughter's turn.
How does she keep going amid the sound and the fury of politics? Here's how. It's because she never, ever forgets who she's fighting for.
The former Secretary of State then took to the stage to make history as the first female presidential nominee of either major party.
And so, my friends, it is with humility, determination, and boundless confidence in America's promise that I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
Clinton then sought out common ground with moderate Republicans, differentiating herself from the GOP candidate Donald Trump.
We will not build a wall. Instead, we will build an economy where everyone who wants a good job can get one. We will not ban a religion. We will work with all Americans and our allies to fight and defeat terrorism.
Within her own party, she reached out to backers of Bernie Sanders after a long nomination campaign.
And to all of your supporters here and around the country, I want you to know, I've heard you. Your cause is our cause.
She set herself out as a unifier in divided times, unifying the party and the country, two things Clinton will seek to achieve in order to take the nation's highest office.
And that's Safetv 2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Safetv 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and safetvguyana.com. You can also tune in Sunday evening at 6 for a rebroadcast, and again on Monday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. I'm Rihanna Ahmad, signing out from this newscast. You have a blessed evening.